What is up, Sooner Nation? Welcome back, Sooner Surge podcast on this Tuesday night. Welcome back to the live show. Sooner Surge live tonight. No Thunder game tonight. That's tomorrow night. As the Thunder's up 3-1. I saw Ron ask, did the Thunder win tonight? They did not play. So that's tomorrow night. Can they clinch? We'll find out tomorrow. But thanks for joining us tonight. Walmart Germ is the best germ. You know what? I think Jeremy's going to join us in a little bit, but not from Walmart. To be determined where he'll be. You'll have to wait and find out. It could be somewhere. Maybe you've seen him this spot before, maybe not. I am not tight tonight, man. So I'm pretty loose. I'm excited because another day closer to football season. Hey, Chester, I see Chester's comment. Man, I'm just going to tell you, the weather here has stunk for about 4 days. It has rained. The last 2 days, it hasn't even rained hard. It's just been a constant mist for literally 2 days. It's annoying. I don't like it. I'm tired of it. It's in the 60s. I got a hoodie on. This is freaking end of May. Let's get to the warm weather. That's all I got to say. What's up, Sooner WX? How you doing? What's up, Braden? What's up, Monty? Purple? Wow. Once again, the Knicks have made a comeback. Crazy. That series is wild. I don't think either one of those can beat the Thunder, though. I just don't think they can. I think the Thunder will beat either one of those teams. What's up, Dalpos? What would you guys like to talk about? Drop it in the chat. I'll tell you, you see on the graphic tonight, Hunter put Stacey Ford hired at Oklahoma. We didn't get to talk about this the other night. He was director of player personnel at UCLA. Also has some ties with Arbuckle to Washington State. I like the hire. They're filling out their staff there. That's good to see. Also, the SEC meetings are going on right now. And I think it was George Stoya. I saw their YouTube, some of their YouTube stuff tonight. And Brent Venables talked to the media there. Some interesting stuff coming from that. Mainly about the Jaden Gibson and Giovanni Gibson's injuries, about Brent Venables optimistic that they'll be ready to go. That's a long way away from now. I'm not going to sit here and think they're ready to go game one. I don't know. We'll see. We'll find out. But that's good news if they are. That's for sure, because they need some size. But why is Ford yelling at BV? Did I miss something? Hunter, did I miss something on that? I don't know, Ford. I'm confused. What's going on with that? Jerm will be on in a little bit, I believe, Austin, so stay tuned. But yeah, you got the SEC meetings in Destin. What a place to have SEC meetings. Are you kidding me? Destin? Sign me up. Jeez. But you know what? Sankey, I feel like Sankey's kind of getting some backlash from people, and I think it's I don't know what they expect. I mean, Greg Sankey is a really good leader. And I think he's going to do what's best for the conference, what's best for the SEC. And you know what? I think it'll all work out in the end. Now, who knows? You're hearing a lot of stuff right now. 16-team playoff, SEC Big Ten want 4 teams guaranteed. There's the talk in the SEC meetings about 9 conference games. Let me just start with that tonight. Your thoughts in the chat until we open up the phone lines. Are you for or against a 9-game conference season? And if you're for it or against it, tell me why. If you're not for it because it's going to limit, it's going to hurt you as far as getting to the playoff, what is it? Just let me know in the chat. I'm interested to see kind of where we fall. Maybe, I don't know if Hunter, if you could do a poll or not, but for or against a 9-team conference. Chester's for it. I'm agreeing with you, Chester. I'm for it. I know. I think some people I've talked to said they're against it. I'm for it. Ron couldn't care less. More money, more recruiting grounds. What's fair, right? Against it, Dalpo says we don't need a more difficult schedule, but I think 9-game conference will kind of level out the schedules for every team a little bit more. Now, you can't get it perfect, but I do think the more conference games you play, the more other teams are going to have to play some tougher games too. So Purple loves playing Maine and Tulsa. Keep it 8, keep it 8, keep 4 cupcakes. Sooner WX4, I think we're getting a mixed bag here, about half and half right now. We'll see if that sticks for the rest of the comments, but I think we're kind of split half and half here. Don't mind it, but then eliminate all Power 4 non-conference games and possibly 2 buys in there as well. Ooh, okay. 918 brings up something interesting. Eliminate all the Power 4 non-conference games and possibly 2 buys in there. Give another buy. That's interesting. I wouldn't hate that. Yeah. I don't know. You see these games like Maine and stuff, and I know a lot of people love these games because it's like a blowout. But let's be honest. What do those games do? First off, you blow out Maine. It means nothing on your strength of schedule. It really probably means nothing. I mean, that week when you do it, do you really learn a lot about your team? I mean, no. I think the holdup for most people is, well, that could mean another loss if you play another conference game. Maine's an easy win. I get it. But also, Alabama has to play a tougher game. They're not playing Georgia State. You got Texas. I mean, all these teams would have to play tougher games. So it's not just OU. Jamel, thanks for joining us tonight. Says 8-game conference, 1 Big 10, Big 12, 1 ACC, and then allow 1 from the lower conference. Now, this is interesting, and I don't mind this either. I don't mind playing other conference big schools like that and then 1 small, but I still would rather have the 9. But that's just me. And that's a true statement. 918, good point. They do put money in the pocket for the smaller school, but that's it. And the excitement last year when Maine came to Oklahoma, there wasn't a whole lot of excitement in the stands and all that. I mean, it just, I don't know. I just don't, it's hard for me to get up for those games. I don't really think they tell your team that much. We don't need our players getting hurt on an easy game. See, I'm against this, Purple. I know we differ on this, and I think Hunter, I think you differ on this too. But I understand 1 cupcake game, but 3 or 4 I think is kind of silly. And I know you have the one that's not usually, but more than one is too much. It just is, in my opinion. I don't think they do anything for you. I really don't think they prepare you. They don't get you ready for a tougher competition. I wish it was more like basketball. When in college basketball, you are rewarded for playing a tough schedule. And yes, it's because more teams get into the tournament. I get it. Maybe that's what they need to do. Expand this thing. I think it's going to go to 16, but I mean, is that too many? Would you even go more? I just think you got to reward teams. It should mean something when you play these tougher opponents. It should mean something if you play 9 conference games. And I think the holdup a lot for the SEC is like, well, if we go to 9 conference games, then we should be guaranteed to get at least 4 teams in the playoff, maybe more. That, I think, is what the holdup. And I think it might have been Kirby Smart that said it, is that it's all going to depend on how many teams they can lock into the playoff and whether or not they go to 9 conference. It might not have been Kirby. It was somebody at the meetings said that. Get them hurt while not playing a game. Yeah, huge empty sections. It's awful. I mean, it usually is, and that's at a stadium like Oklahoma that it sells out. So let me ask, Tennessee fans in here, if there's any Tennessee fans, what did the game like? I'm trying to remember who they played. It might have been Kent State. You remember the Kent State game? I think it was Kent State Tennessee played last year. And I think they hung about 70 on them. And Nico looked unbelievable. It gave people a false sense of what Tennessee really was, because Nico and Tennessee, when they got into SEC play, if you remember right, last year, they struggled scoring compared to what they were doing early on because they were playing tougher competition. I think it gives you kind of a false sense of how good your team really is. It doesn't really do much for you, in my opinion. That's just me. I don't know. I'm sure people disagree with it. That's fine. Main game was different, more so due to record and rainy weather. Yeah, but I don't like them, Hunter. I don't like the cupcakes. I mean, give me one, maybe the first game of the year, maybe, but that's it. I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to jump straight into game one, Clark. No, I'm against that. I think a cupcake game one, I get it, or a mid game one. I don't want to play a cup. I don't want to play like a conference opponent game one. No way. But when they play that cupcake at the end of the year, I hate it. Last year, it's sandwiched in between a couple of SEC teams. I don't like it. Just give them the week off. Please, just give them the week off. Wouldn't that be better? Play a tougher team early on and give them a week off. I'm kind of with 9-8 on that. I don't think it does anything for you. Now, this is interesting, Hunter. Hunter says college football proved they care more about quantity of wins versus quality. It seems like they didn't, but I think that has to change some. I think there has to be a world down the road when you got conferences like SEC and Big Ten, and let's just say they have SEC, say they have 5 of the top 12 teams in the nation, and the Big Ten has 5 of the top, 12 or whatever. Just throwing that number out there. They're going to have to start taking that into consideration, that a 9-3 SEC team is more qualified than a 10-2 ACC if the ACC team hasn't played anybody. Now, I would say the same thing for an ACC team. If they were 9-3 and an SEC team was 10-2 and the SEC team hadn't played anybody and the ACC team had, I'm just saying in general, I think they got to start taking the quality of wins over the quantity. I don't think it should be just like, well, this team has more wins and they're a better team. I think there needs to be a little bit more thought into that. But I don't know the best way to do it, guys. I do think it's going to 16. I think it's going to go to 16 teams. What do you guys think? Do you think it's going to 16 or is it going to stay where it's at? I think it's going to go to 16. Hunter, what do you think? Chat, what do you think? Now, Chester brings up a good point. If you want cupcakes, go 9 conference game and 3 cupcakes. There you go. If you really want a cupcake. Hey, and let me say this I don't know how to say this except just to say it the way I feel it. And that game was a cup game, and look what happened. But you can't tell me that Notre Dame didn't treat that as a cupcake game. They absolutely did. And it showed. They lost. But I just think there again, I don't think it does a whole lot for you if you're in one of the power conferences. I just don't think it does a whole lot for you. I really don't. 16, Teresa says. The other talk is the portal. And I want to get to that in a minute. Hunter says 16. Ron says 64. Thoughts on the change the playoff ranking system, making conference champions use this in lower schools a hard time to make the playoffs. I'm trying to understand what you're saying there, Colin. And I agree, 9-8, you're not. But it's just like the NCAA basketball tournament. You're not getting the 64 best teams either, because you're getting teams that win their conference that aren't very good. They're getting in. I don't know the best way to do it. I really don't. The other one is this. Now, Dalpost has an interesting thought here. Should they go NFL model, copy everything? I don't think they will. It's an interesting thought. The other thing we got to talk about is the portal. If you guys heard Brent Venables comment on this, today Brent Venables said he would be in favor of a one portal and it being in February. He said as early as spring as possible. I think most people think that one portal is what it should be. I don't know if you guys agree or not, but from what I've heard, most people think there needs to be one portal. The thing is, when do you do it? When is the best timing? I think February is great for football purposes. It's a slow month. You know, there's not a whole lot going on. It's before spring practices. But how do you do that with the enrollment and getting enrolled in school when school starts in January. I think that's going to be the holdup. Do you just start later? Does the players just miss 2 weeks of school? I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. What's the best solution to that? I think one portal has to go. It has to go to one portal. And I think early spring's the best time. I just don't. I wonder how they're going to work that with the school and the university. That's the only thing. Yeah, it does look like OKC Pacers. And I like OKC in that. Small market versus small market, good or bad for the league? It's not going to be good ratings, 918, but I wouldn't necessarily say it's bad for the league. Here's the thing. Anybody that thinks Oklahoma City's a one-and-done champion, if they win it, it's going to be – they're going to win a few. It's just going to – if they win this year, they're going to win a few. I just think they're that good. They're that deep, and they got guys under contract. I mean, so for at least a couple of years anyway, before they have to really kind of let guys go. But it's probably bad for the league, like Platone says. They deep down probably want higher markets and better ratings, but I think you got to face facts that OKC. Listen, Indiana. As much as people don't want to think about Indiana was in the Eastern Conference Finals last year. And how many games did that go, Hunter, with Boston last year? Did they get beat pretty handily by Boston? I'm trying to remember. But they were in the Eastern Conference Finals last year. So, yeah, Halliburton got hurt. I know that. But how many games did that go? 5, 6? No, is this true? Aaron, I haven't heard that. Did I miss something, Hunter? Gray God, y'all basketball fans in here, Austin, y'all in here. Did I miss something that Westbrook retired? I didn't hear that. I think I missed that. I don't think it happened. Or I think I would have seen it. Okay, hand surgery. Okay, that's it. Yeah, Robert, you can't pay him all, but you got him for a few years, and then you got to kind of figure out what you're going to do. Yeah, you're not going to get rid of small market teams. I'm trying to think let's go back in the history of the last 10 years. What small market teams have won? I mean, it depends. I mean, what do you consider? Like, what are some teams? Minnesota's considered a mid-market, which I think is crazy. Toronto's a good one. I don't think of Minnesota as just a huge market. They're a mid. Milwaukee. Okay, there we go. So it's happened. I mean, so it might be bad for the league ratings-wise. I don't think it's bad for the league if OKC wins it because of this. SGA is becoming he MVP this year. Who knows if he wins it next year or the year after? He's one of the faces of the league right now. So, and that team may win the whole thing. So I don't think that's a bad thing. So, yeah, I kind of got off topic there. But Colin's got a question. You get an all-expense paid trip to see a college football game. The only catch is that it can't involve OU. Where are you going to see a game? All expense paid trip. That means I get the whole weekend there. Wow. That is a great question. There's a couple. Army Navy would be really freaking cool. I don't love the East Coast, but they would be really, really cool to see that game. I also, as much as I don't like Notre Dame, I would love to go at a game at Notre Dame Stadium. So that would be kind of a good one if you got a good matchup there at Notre Dame. I also would love to see Michigan, Ohio State in the big house. I think that would be great. I'm naming them a lot for sure. Hawaii, but who they going to be playing? The football game wouldn't be great, but Hawaii would be awesome. I'm actually going to Hawaii soon, so I'm pumped for it. Ohio State, Michigan. I'm trying to think of some underrated ones. I also would love to maybe. I think Georgia, Florida would be good. Good game, good atmosphere. Auburn, Alabama is one of the best rivalries. I mean, there's a lot. Expenses paid though. Hawaii would be. You'd probably get you probably get the most out of it going to Hawaii and staying on the beach for a while. But as far as football, you wouldn't get much football action in Hawaii. LSU. I've been in New Orleans one time only. I don't know if I ever will go back. Now, if I was going to go to LSU for a game, yes. But other than that, I wouldn't. Las Vegas, Purple says UNLV. Y'all are thinking more about the atmosphere outside of the game. I'm thinking more of the games, personally. I'm thinking more of football. Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan, New Orleans area. Just wasn't. Hey, thanks for joining us tonight. We'll get this thing going. We're going to open up the phone lines for callers. Hunter, if you want to open those up, please do. Check out the FanStop, thefanstop.com. Code SURGE, 10% off your first 3 months. Sign up by the 20th to get next month's shirt. So it's already the 27th. May flew by. So in June, sign up by June 20th to get July's shirt. Hey, one thing I didn't mention, Brian Harris, the recent commit for Oklahoma. If anybody saw this, I think Parker Thune, give Parker Thune credit. He put it out on Twitter today. He has moved his visit day because he wants to try to persuade defensive lineman Jake Cruel, to commit to OU, which he's a stud. He is an absolute stud. So that would be great. Defensive line recruitment just seems to really continue to be really good at Oklahoma. What's up, Platoon 20? You are on the line. What's going on?
Hey, I thought about the scheduling. I definitely agree with 9 conference games. And you might not know the answer to this, but has the SEC at their meeting, do they give any insight to their scheduling? Is it humans putting these schedules together, or is it computer, or is it both, or is it like a black box where nobody knows how the schedules are made?
Well, it's a great question. I don't know the official answer. Maybe Hunter does, but I think there is a lot of human in it as far as how they're figuring out, what pods to do. But I don't think it's putting it in a computer system, spitting it out. I think it's probably a combo of a lot of things.
Okay. There's a huge discrepancy, right? I think I have to look at it again, but I think last year out of the top, was it 5 or 6 SEC teams? OU played like 4 of them, and Texas played 1 or 2 or something like that.
And that's why, Platoon, that's why I like 9 games. I think it's going to even it out a little bit. You know what I mean? Throw another game in there that OU may get Vandy, and then Texas may get Georgia or Alabama. You know what I mean? It might help it out for the overall. I would be fine going 10 conference games if it would even out the conference schedule, but they won't do that. But you got to do something to make it fair for, like, every year it's going to be different depending on who you're playing, and other teams might not have. Like 2 years from now, maybe Ole Miss isn't very good, and then you don't have them on your schedule. You know what I mean? So
right.
I don't know.
I agree with that. The other thing I say is I want to see OU play good teams. I don't want this nonsense of playing Maine. I mean, a lot of people just want automatic wins, but that doesn't do anything for us. It's not a good test of us. Yeah, you get an easy win, but now, that doesn't mean you have to play top 5 teams out of conference everywhere. I think you should pick a middle ground, like maybe out of conference game, pick somebody like a Baylor or something like that. Not a terrible team, but not like elite either. I mean, I think if you picked like teams that maybe go like an ACC or Big 12 that are like 7-8 win teams, stuff like that. I'm not saying you have to play juggernauts all the time, but Maine and the other nonsense cupcakes, I'm not for that. Either to see how you play decent level teams, even though it might be an automatic W against ones. It doesn't prove anything. It doesn't help us at all. It's just a waste of time, I feel like.
I'm with you. And the thing is, like with like Oklahoma, I always want to see them play the best. I hate the cupcake games where you get up out of bed at 8:30, turn on game day, and you're just not excited because it's going to be a blowout. I don't like that. The other thing is this. I think it's a little disadvantage because I think most fans of any team in the Big 12 or any team in the ACC, if you asked them point blank right now, if you were to ask anybody of any fans of those schools, they would say right now, let me play some SEC teams non-conference. Do you know why? It doesn't matter for them, because if you're in a conference that isn't as good as the SEC or Big Ten, you win your conference, you're in. It doesn't affect you as much, because if you, let's just say, I don't know, ACC or Big 12, let's just say a team is really dominant over there. You know, they can just go out and say, we're going to play a non-con schedule, we'll go play SEC team. If they lose, it doesn't hurt, because it's the conference schedule that gets you into the playoff. So I don't know. It's a kind of a catch-22, really. Dalpo says, I put a lot of stock and momentum in conference. Of stacking the schedule, I think, works against us. I mean, I could see the momentum thing. I get it, but I hate games against just nobodies. I just hate it. 918 says, you don't know what that Big 12 ACC team will look like when you schedule 5+ years out. And that's true. That's true. When you make the schedule that far out, you don't. I mean, who knows what Colorado is going to be in 5 years? What if Deion leaves next year and they go backwards? You don't know what OSU is going to. I mean, you just don't know any of that stuff. They could add the rivalry games. OU gets OSU instead of Maine, even OU versus. Oh, that'd be awesome. Sooner history, I'd be all over that. That would be great. Please sign me up. And this is true, Platoon. You know Maine's going to suck. I mean, it's a fact. They're not going to be any good. And that's why, too, in the SEC schedule, I know Vanderbilt had a good year last year. But you can probably be pretty confident that Vanderbilt's not going to be in the top tier of the SEC over the next 20 years. Sorry, I just don't think they will be. You could probably say same thing with other teams in the SEC. I mean, Arkansas, every once in a while, Arkansas is going to have a great year. But I don't see them top tier. I mean, I think you can tier this thing in the SEC. You won't be accurate on all of them, but you kind of have an idea who your big dogs are, who your middle of the dogs are, and who your cellar dwellers are. You kind of have a little bit of an idea if you go off history of teams in the last 15 or 20 years. Why Tulsa, Maine, UConn, Eastern are great non? Yeah. What is the benefit of OU playing 9 SEC teams and going to play at OSU, Nebraska? It makes no sense from a scheduling standpoint. Well, I mean, I get it, 918. For that reason, if you're playing 9, I think the OSU, Nebraska, if you were playing 8 SEC teams, I could see it more. But no, at 9. I kind of understand you there. But what else is on your mind? I mean, we could talk, man, the portal stuff. I think I saw most people said that they'd rather have one portal. I think that's true for most. I think most people agree with that. Are there going to be parameters on that? I mean, who knows? There's just so much stuff they got to figure out in college football. I don't know. I mean, there was a fake tweet going around today about SEC, and it got a lot of people. I'm not going to name names, but it got a lot of people, and they fell for it. Hook, line, sinker. And it said, SEC has decided to break away from college football and go in their own route in 2028, 2029. Robert's asking, Jay, did you see my question about the softball portal? I did not. Let me see if I can find it on here. Robert, or ask it again if I can't find it. Okay. How do you feel about softball opening the portal up after the World Series? It's already open. Are you saying, should they wait? Yeah, they should wait. I don't know why. I don't understand softball at all. I don't understand this portal stuff in any sport, but I don't understand it in softball at all. Right now, the portal's open and people it makes zero sense. You know what? School doesn't start till August. What's the point of opening the softball portal up right now? I mean, you got teams. I saw somebody today committed to Tennessee. Tennessee's still playing, and they went and got a pitcher for next year. It's wild to me. It's crazy. I don't understand it. And they need to wait. I don't understand some of these things. It's like they don't. It's like they haven't thought about it at all. It makes no sense. Colin, college football 26 cover athletes. I haven't seen the cover. What was it? Somebody tell me. I haven't seen it. Athletes? just a bunch of athletes on there. Is that what it was? Favorite Sooners memory, Jay. Favorite Sooner memory. I got a lot. I mean, the 2000 championship for me, I mean, that was prime time for me. I was in college at that time. And so I was like huge OU fan, still am, obviously. But back then, when you're college, you have you're not married, you don't have kids. I mean, football to me I don't want to say everything. It's not everything, but I lived and breathed it. And when they lost, I was very upset for a few days. But that championship to me was bar none the best of all my Sooners memories. The other one would have been the Buddy Hield season with Oklahoma basketball was great. That meant that season was awesome. So Chester says Mike Gaddis coming back from injury. Hey, I'm going to ask a trivia question. Is Dallas and Denver Thunder's rivals now? Possibly. Hey, let me ask a trivia question. It's going to be basketball related, but here we go with the trivia. I think you'll get this very quick. I think most people know this answer, but I'm going to ask it anyway. So I'm going to ask an easy one. I'm going to give you a little toss up tonight for an easy one. Here we go. SGA dropped 40 last night. Here's what I want to know. What team originally drafted SGA? What team originally drafted SGA? Traded him on draft day, but what team originally drafted him? This is pretty easy. I think most of you people know it. I think it won't be very long before somebody gets it, and there it is. Looks like on my end, it looks like Purple Orca got it. Hornets. Charlotte Hornets. Wait, was Jordan the GM? Trade him away to Clippers. Not a very smart move. Also another guy that didn't get drafted by the Thunder was Cason Wallace. Cason Wallace was drafted by the Dallas Mavericks, and he got traded to the Thunder. Presty wheeling and dealing, baby. That's what Presty does. That's what he does. He wheels and deals. Hey, by the way, Thunder fans, you know who I really like is this Topic. I don't know if I pronounced his name right, but can't wait for him to be on the Thunder because I think he's going to be really good. They just keep getting dudes. Wow, look at this. Charlotte gave up Kobe and SG. Okay, Topic. Thanks, Hunter. Appreciate that. Appreciate you correcting me. You know what? Jeremy would have corrected me too, but Jeremy's not on here. He would have corrected me for sure with the pronunciation. It'd have been the grammar police, been the English police coming at me. Most of y'all knew that answer, Charlotte. So, what else? Hey, phone lines are open. If you'd like to call in and chat, we'll talk whatever you want to talk about. It doesn't bother me. I don't care if you want to talk about Hallmark movies. I wouldn't know an answer. You have to wait for Jeremy to get on for that one. Wow. Dalpo says, by the way, I watched that movie Draft Day, and I surprisingly thought it stunk. Wow. I'm disappointed, Dalpo, because I thought that was a great movie. But by the way, there's a show that I'm excited to watch. Has everybody seen the previews of the show on Apple? Stick. It's got Owen Wilson about the golf. That looks good. I like golf, but that looks good. Would you put, this is a great question, would you put OKC title over OU Natty? No way, no how, never. Give me an Oklahoma championship any day of the week. I love OKC. And I want OKC to win the title more than anybody, even though people think I'm not an OKC fan. They think I'm rooting against them. I'm not. I love OKC. But, man, to me, a college football national championship, it's hard to beat that in my book as a fandom. Okay, so Five Guys is good, Austin. It's not my favorite burger joint. I like other burger joints better, but It's good. It's not great. I think it's good. Nothing. I think it's overpriced. Don't get fries with it. Come on now, you gotta give me fries with my burger. Nothing is above OU champion. I follow the Thunder since they moved from Seattle. I agree. Nothing's. If OU won another natty, that might be the greatest day of my life. I think that's where everybody's at right now. Yeah, it is very expensive, mess. Coach Popovich signed the greatest center of all time and abruptly retired. Well, I mean, he's had some health issues, so their fries are good, but you got to pay extra for them. Come on now, come on. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of people that argue In-N-Out, Shake Shack. Those are a lot better, but there's local spots here that are really dang good. I tell you, if you're ever in the area, there's a couple places here. Northwest Arkansas. If you're ever in there, let me know. Send me a message. I'll tell you where to go because there's some really good places. Colin, what's up? You're on the line, man. Talk to me.
What's up? How are you?
I'm well. You?
Doing good. Going to Game 5 tomorrow.
Oh, are you?
Close it out. Yeah.
Wow, dude.
Yeah.
How much were those tickets pricey?
No, I got them for like $200 per seat. Me and a couple buddies are going, but we're like very top, like Loud City.
Because it was like not bad though. That's not bad for a Game 5 Western Conference.
Just hoping we can close it out.
Hey, if they win it and they make it to the finals, which I think everybody thinks they will, are you going to go to a finals game?
I'm going to try to, but I know those are where it gets like the most expensive to try to.
Yeah, they raise that price even more, don't they?
But I wanted to ask a question. My question is, with OKC, with them probably, I feel like going to probably win the championship. I like the odds. Sam Presti and all of them built from like homegrown. They didn't go out and get portal people. They didn't bring in free agents. Maybe time in here and there, but they've kind of built their own roster, per se. And I feel like we don't see that as much in college football. And it kind of sucks with NIL kind of running that.
Yeah. I mean, you don't see it a lot in basketball either, though. You don't see it a lot in NBA either. I mean, Thunder, what they've done, I mean, I think you have the Thunder doing it. I think the Rockets and Cavaliers are starting to put together a really good squad with some of the guys they've drafted. But I don't think you see it a whole lot. And you know what? I think the NBA offseason, Colin, is going to be wild. I think free agency is going to be crazy. But gone are those days in NCAA. With NIL and stuff gone. They're gone with transfer portal. And the Warriors did do it, Greg God says. The Warriors are a good one.
And then my last question would be, if SGA is to go on and win the championship, would you put him as the greatest Thunder?
Oh,
over KD, over Westbrook?
Has to be.
Just because the ring, or does the ring solidify him?
The ring solidifies him, but right now, the way he's playing, he's up there in my book already. I mean, this guy can get 30 every night. And he can do it in a variety of different ways. But if he wins the championship at Oklahoma City Thunder, that dude, he's number one in my book.
Because I thought for like the finals, because I think it's now going to be Pacers after going up 3-1.
I think it's going to be Pacers as well.
Which is kind of what I'm looking forward to, because Pacers are the number one offense and Thunder is the number one defense.
That's right.
So I know. Do you think those games are going to be high scoring against the Pacers from their offense, or do you think our defense
I think Indiana's a really good offensive team, and the Thunder's a really good defensive team. That matchup's going to be very interesting. I do think there are some matchups I like with the Thunder against Indiana. I think like Halliburton's really good shooter and scorer, but he's not the biggest guy as far as physical. I think Thunder's guards can give him trouble. I think the Thunder have a better chance against the Pacers than the Knicks as far as ending it sooner. I think Greg got says in 5. I mean, I just think the matchup for the Thunder against Indiana, I think it's pretty good.
My last question would just be one for the chat and you. This kind of like to debate would be: does pineapple belong on pizza?
Oh, this is a great debate. I eat pineapple on my Hawaiian pizza, and I also eat it on barbecue chicken pizza. So I'd have to say yes. I eat it on pizza, so it's a yes. Is it my favorite thing on pizza? No. Give me hot honey any day. But it's definitely why not have pineapples on pizza if you can have anchovies on pizza, right?
Yeah. Well, all right.
Thanks for
I'll
the
see
call,
ya.
Colin. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate you calling in. Pacers are tough, but we won both games. Hey, this is a great question. And I saw this earlier. I got to put it up here. The fact that the two teams in the finals were built on trading Paul George is wild. It is absolutely wild. It's crazy. Unbelievable. Mess says, why does OU need to sign a player personnel director? What is the role? Hunter could probably answer the role more in here, but Mess, when Jim Nagy came in, he said he's going to build a staff around him. They want to build a staff, and they want to have one of the best staffs out there as far as that type of stuff with personnel directors, with recruiting, with evaluating of talent, and that's what he's doing. He's putting together a staff. So I think all that they're doing with the recruiting side of it, with Nagy, I think they're trying to build the best staff possible. So I don't have a problem with it. And maybe Hunter knows more of what his role is going to be at Oklahoma. I haven't heard any interviews with him, so I can't really massive role in that position for recruiting is what Hunter says. Okay, it's accepted, but not it. Call-in link. Let me see if I can get it for you. Coconut, Greg. Let me see if I can get it. There you go, Coconut. Mess says no pineapple, no chicken, no barbecue on pizza. We got Austin on the line right now. Austin, you're up. What's up? What's going on, man?
I was thinking, who would you put on the OKC Thunder Mount Rushmore if you were to do one?
Well, 4 people, 5. How many you want? 4?
Yeah, 4.
KD, Westbrook, SGA. Wow. I mean, a lot of people might say Harden, a lot of people might say J-Dub at this point, but there's 3 guaranteed: Russ,
Yep.
KD, and SGA. The question's going to be who's the 4th. Now,
Right.
I think if you ask people after this year, and they win it, yeah. Now this is a great one. This might be the answer right there, Presti. That's got to be the answer.
Oh yeah, Preston.
Got to be it. He built it. I think that's the answer. Awesome. But as far as a player, I don't know. The people, I'm sorry. Listen, awesome. The people on here that are saying no KD, it's ridiculous. I cannot stand KD for leaving the Thunder, but to say you couldn't put him on the Thunder Mount Rushmore is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, I agree. I do. Well, I remember when he left, I tore down my KD poster and I ripped it to shreds, but he won multiple scoring titles with us. He was an MVP. He is one of our better players.
Yeah, for the people saying don't put him on there, where were you when he was out at Oklahoma City? You were so loving KD, it was unbelievable. So I mean, he was a great player at Oklahoma City.
I would probably, if I did a Mount Rushmore, I would probably put those 3, because we've had 3 MVPs, and I would probably put Nick Collison on there.
That's what 918 says, Collison. That's an interesting one. Hey, I got a name for you. Paul George. Without him.
Oh, yeah.
Paul George was at the Thunder. Without him, you don't have SGA.
Right, and Paul George had his best years with the Thunder.
Yeah, he played good for the Thunder, but so that's a great question, Austin. I love it.
Well, Ibaka or
No, I mean, I think if they win it this year, there's going to be people that would probably say J-Dub or Chet because people are so in love. If they win a championship, it'll be like the "What have you done for me lately" thing. But if you look at overall, I would go 3 players in Presti: KD, Russ, SGA and Presti. I had to throw Presti in there. Great question. Thanks, Austin. Appreciate it, man.
Yep, I think that Chet will be on there when his career is all said and done.
Very well could be if he continues to develop. He very well could be. I agree. So, hey, thanks, Austin. Appreciate it, man. Have a good night. Let's get to Coconut Greg. What's up, Greg?
Oh, nothing much. Yourself?
Oh, doing well, man. Doing
Good.
well.
So I have a unique perspective on it. So I've lived here in Kansas City for almost 5 years now. So I've got to be in a town that's won, a major sports championship a few times, the Super Bowl. And it's been really cool to witness. And I'm becoming, more of a Chiefs fan, I guess, every year I see them play. But if OU is to win another national championship in football, or hopefully if the OKC Thunder can win an NBA Finals, that would be way more special to me, growing up in Oklahoma, and that would be so cool. Hopefully we can get it done this year. But my question is, so we're up 3-1 here. Got a game to close it out. We've been here before, right? We all remember 2016, and are we getting a little bit ahead of ourselves? I mean, sure, we're the favorites and all that, but I mean, to think that Minnesota is just going to sit down and let us win, and to think they're not going to come hungry to try to battle back in this, I think we're maybe a little short-sighted on that. And same thing, even if we were to win, the Pacers aren't just going to sit down and just let us take it away. So it's like, this is not over yet. There's still a lot of good basketball to be played here. So part of me is hesitant to be like, oh yeah, we're going to the finals, we're doing this and that. I mean, we've all seen it. We've all been
right. You're right. It's not over. It's not over. But let me just say this. You're up 3-1. You've only lost back-to-back games twice this whole season. You have 2 of the 3 games at home. If they don't win this series and make it the finals, it's going to go down as one of the biggest choke jobs in the history of the NBA.
Oh,
I hate to be that way, but you're up 3-1 with 2 of the 3 games at home. If you don't close this out, it will be talked about as a choke job. Do you not agree?
Oh, it would absolutely be one of the biggest choke jobs in modern sports history. Now, I can't remember the 2016 Western Conference Finals. When we were up 3-1, was it a similar situation where we had 2 home games?
No, it was game 5 was in Golden State. Game 6, it was 3-2. They could have closed out at home. They didn't close out, and then it went back to Golden State. So it's a different scenario. 2 of the 3 were in Golden State. That's the difference.
Makes sense. Besides that, what do you think is maybe different about our current team that we're maybe more likely to finish this out versus the 2016 team?
Well, 2 things. Clay and Curry are not on the other team because I know DiVincenzo and Walker had great games, but they're not Clay and Curry, and they're not been there, done that. So I think the experience that Minnesota, they don't have it. They don't have guys that have won championships over there. They're down 3-1. They're a young team. I think that's one thing. The other thing is the Thunder defense is so much better than it was back in 2016. It's not even funny. So I think defense travels. I think defense is pretty consistent. So, and I think they win it because of that.
Yeah. No, I remember that series when Clay and Steph were just nailing bucket after bucket. And I remember just not even being mad anymore, being like, listen, what can you do? What can you do when a guy like that is just essentially automatic from the 3 line? Yeah, it was nuts.
It was crazy.
Yeah, well, I'm hoping we can do it. This would be really special for all of Oklahoma here. I think you made the comment yesterday. I think if we can jump out to an early lead, I think it'll be a bit demoralizing to them. So I'm hoping that's what we can do.
I think that's how you end this thing tomorrow and end it with a double-digit win and not go down the wire. As you get on them early. Get on them early, put it in their head, and then just end this thing. That's the thing. Get on them early. So
to all those going to the game tomorrow, okay, we need the Thunderdome. I don't know why we don't call it the Thunderdome. It should be called the Thunderdome.
Thunderdome is a great name for it. I love it.
Yeah, we need the Thunderdome really giving us that home court advantage. It needs to be insane. The Wolves don't need to hear themselves think. We need to bring the noise, bring the energy. Thunder up, baby.
That's right. Thanks, Greg. Appreciate
Always.
you calling, man. Hey, another thing is, if you'd have told most Thunder fans halfway through the season, when they are dominating, they're one in the West, they're going to end up one in the West. If you would have said, okay, I'm going to give you the Thunder versus Minnesota in the Western Conference Finals, and then they're going to play the winner of the Knicks Pacers in the finals. How many Thunder fans would have said, can I go put money on them winning the championship? I think a lot of people would have said, sign me up. I'm going to go drop $100 or $1,000 on them, because I think people thought, wow, you don't have Denver. You don't have Lakers. You don't have Dallas. You don't have some of these other teams, Golden State, Boston. All these teams are gone. They're all in Cancun. The Thunder's playing, and they're up 3-1 on Minnesota. They win one of the next three against Minnesota to be in the finals, and then they're going to face the Pacers or the Knicks for the chance to be an NBA champion. This is their year. They have to get it done. They have to get it done. This is their year to do it. Go take care of business and do this thing. I'm excited. Yeah, depth is huge. They do have a ton of depth there, and that's part of the reason why they're doing what they're doing. 2 teams enter the Thunderdome. 1 team leaves. I like it. Hey, I don't know if anybody saw this or not. Did anybody watch the post-game press conference with Minnesota and Ant-Man? I don't know if anybody saw it, but his answer to one of the questions I thought was pretty weak. The answer was the question was basically, do you think you had a bad game or you struggled? And he said, no, I think I did what needed to be done. I made the right plays. He said, you could say I'm struggling if I would have shot more, but I didn't shoot more. I'm sorry. In my opinion, Anthony Edwards, if you're that guy, if you are one of the top players in the league and people are comparing you to the greats, you got to shoot it more than 13 times. You played 40 minutes, bud. What are you doing? Shoot the ball, drive, do something. Don't sit there and not shoot it and then afterwards say, yeah, I played everything I did was great. I made the right passes. You know what? I thought that was kind of weak. Like, you're the star player. You had 5 turnovers. I don't know. I thought that was like, come on now. I don't care. We had this argument last night on the live, and I know Jeremy's not on here, so he can't argue with me. But I know Lou Dort was great on Anthony Edwards. I know when Case and Wallace got on him, he was great. I know the Thunder did Caruso. They all did a great job on Anthony Edwards. There's not one world in that I live in that Anthony Edwards couldn't get to the rim and at least get a shot off on those guys. He absolutely can. He absolutely could pull up for 3 if he wanted to. Whether or not he's going to make it, I don't know. I'm not saying that. But he was way too passive, I thought, last night. Anybody that's a great player in the NBA can get their shot off. It's not always the best shot. I'm not saying it would have been with Edwards, but he could have got the shots off. He could have shot more than twice in the first half. He could have shot more than 6 times through 3 quarters or whatever it was. I didn't understand that, especially after game 3, where he was coming out firing. So I thought it almost came across to me after the game, and I know this isn't what Anthony Edwards meant, but it almost came across as, well, I didn't shoot it very much, so you can't say I play bad. Well, does that mean he's just not going to shoot as much so he didn't want to get blamed? I thought it was kind of weak. Anyway, I don't want to get off on a tangent, even though I kind of did. So I apologize. I apologize for that. But, hey, it's been fun tonight, guys and gals. Appreciate you joining me solo tonight. 1 of 7 from 3, 5 turnovers. I would say that's struggling. And thanks for joining me tonight. Appreciate it. You guys help carry it in the chat. You always do. It's great. Appreciate you doing that. We will talk to you next time. Talk to you tomorrow night. Appreciate you guys. Have a good night. Talk to you tomorrow. See ya.